Hi everyone, my name is Marcus Samuelsson, and right now you're my favorite part of my kitchen. I'm right in front of the wonderful BlueStar, and I do a lot of cooking on this cooktop. And I think the biggest difference between home kitchen and restaurant kitchen is the amount of heat that you get from your stove, right? In the restaurant, we have enormous amount of power, so we can do all those techniques that we learned in school and we learned through coming up in cooking, sauteing, braising, and searing. And when people come to the restaurant, they want to do those recipes at home. So, for example, when you want to do a steak, right? What makes a steak good besides that you have a wonderful piece of cut, a great cut of meat, is also how do you sear it, how can you flavor it, and how can you keep all that moist, wonderful meat inside of the meat, right? Here at BlueStar, we really have two burners that gives you 15,000 BTUs, and that's great, but most cooktops don't even give you that. But the best one for doing a steak is this one right here. The front one gives you 22,000 BTU. That's a lot. That's really a power range. And why is that important? Because when you do a steak, you want to make sure that you have high heat that I was talking about, so you can really seal all the great flavors that the steak's going to give you. I'm putting on a great rub here. I'm going to also put on some classic just salt and pepper. But this really allows you to cook like a chef in a restaurant to really get this wonderful searing flavor. I'm going up on pretty high here. You see the pan is getting almost smoking, and this is the sound. If you don't have that sound, you're not searing. This is exactly the sound. Looking at this is the searing flavor. It seals all the flavor, make sure that the steak's going to be really nice and juicy. And if you cook it about 3 minutes on this side, 3-4 minutes on the other side, then you let it rest for a good 5-6 minutes, then you have a wonderful steak cooked medium rare. And you can decide, just like in a restaurant, you can decide if you want to cook a little bit longer. You know, you can decide how you want to cook it, well done, medium rare, or something like that. Also, the great thing when you're cooking is like you want to feel here, if it's soft here, if the steak is soft here, this is about medium. See here how nice, it keeps, the heat doesn't go down just because I put a steak in. You get this nice color. And again, I think as a chef, I just think that's the absolutely biggest difference for me is to come home here, be really comfortable when I entertain here, or if I cook from my cookbook here. I can trust the stove. I can really cook on the same amount of heat as I would do in the restaurant, which means I can cook as precise as I do in the restaurant. And that's not often a home cook can say that you can sort of create the same flavors that you can in a professional kitchen. Look at that, that's perfect for the steak. Nice char. Now we're gonna go a nice 3-4 minutes on this side, then we're going to let it rest, then we have a wonderful moist steak. The one good thing you want to make sure when you have a steak, people always say, oh, you cut up the steak and you get all water on the plate and say, oh, it's really juicy. That's actually not the case. When you have a great cut, a great meat, the steak is nice and juicy, but the liquid stays in the steak. When you have a big steak, that the water running all over the place, the steak has been frozen. Probably the biggest misconception with the steak is that people think, oh, all the juices are coming out. No, the juice stays inside the steak. It's been done the right way. Done. Let it rest 3-4 minutes. The party can start.